Hello, buddy. I'm live. My name is Chris Exusion, at Chris Ebom. If you did not know, Rise and Fire Bets. I'm a YouTube page, Sell Me Fire. Doing something a little different this week. I'm on the pup list for my employer for the most part because of my Achilles surgery. So I am here right now. It's 11:30. Gonna have comments, wherever you guys want to ask. What I'm looking to do, pretty much simple. I love first round bets. It's one of my favorite bets of all sports. And I got three plays. I don't have a big list. I'm not a big fan of the huge list of first round leaders, T20 after first rounds. But uh, right here, I have my three favorite first round plays right here, and I'm going to get into them right now. So without further ado, we're going to get started. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Maybe I will do this next week. I'm not too sure right now, but I think I will because I'll still be on the shelf for the most part, and I like doing these in general. Thanks again, guys, for your support, everything else. But hey, let's get into it right now. So weather is going to be a big issue, of course, this week with the wind. And right now, the wind is looking like that it's going to be real low during the morning. And then in the afternoon, it's going to pick up. And then that's pretty much what it's looking like for the first round. That's all we need to care about. We don't have to care about the rest of the week. This is a first round bet. These three guys, I feel like, have great proven track record, and they're getting the best part of the wave at early. So I will show you right now what we are looking at for tee times. 1 second. Let me get this situated. Share. Bear with me, guys. Okay. So here we are right now. I set this up real nice for you guys over here. I have the list for the tee times on Thursday. I know it's a big list, but hence why I gave you the highlighted guys right there. I'm looking at this week. I'm looking at Mark Hubbard. He's teeing off at 6:56 a.m. Russell Henley also teeing off at 6:56 a.m. And then also at 7:51, Matt Kuchar is teeing off at 7:51 a.m. So this is what we're looking at right now. I just want to make sure everything is going smoothly right now. Okay. Thank you guys for liking everything that's going on here on Twitter. Remember, check it out, guys. It's going on live right now. If you guys got any questions, be more than happy to hit me up. But you know what? This is what I'm going to do right now. Just getting the Kinks back in for a live show, which will be happening again in August when Russ Reese, the Vegas Line Reader, and myself make our return to tackle the board. Can't wait for that to happen. It's going to be a live show. It'll be Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on schedules and everything. But we will have our future show coming up in August for both NFL and college. Russ and I killed it last year, over 70% winners on that. So, you know, that's some good stuff as well. So that usually tells you that, hey, we know what we're talking about in the long game of the season. But anyway, back to golf. These three guys, I really like. Mark Hubbard, Russell Henley, Matt Kuchar. We got two guys in the different starting tee times, which I really like a lot. You know, we got one at the starting off at T1, and then we have two guys starting off at at the 10th tee. So I like that. We get a mix of both with the early wave. We should be able to score early quick, which I really like. So let me get into what I was looking at as far as everything else is going here. Okay, so here we are here. So if we're looking at what these guys have done in the first round. This is rickrungood.com, one of my favorites. I love using it. Rick Gaiman's fantastic, and Andy Lack's part of it now. So it's a good 1-2 punch of the program. So it's I love it. I've always used it. It was my first program I used. But anyway, going on for the most part. So if we're going to look at a guy like, let's look at Matt Kuchar, because Kuchar is a guy that tends to go low pretty early. Second, let me make sure I can type all that over here. He's a guy that typically goes low early. So if we're looking at just first round play, just in general, in his most recent starts, pretty much all green. But if you look down here where it is in the red right here, like he was -2 strokes gained total, he actually comes back pretty strong right here and continues what he has been doing. If we look at what he did at the Genesis Scottish Open, this is what has happened over here. He went minus once again with total with a -1. I expect him to bounce back real strong. We know Matt Kuchar hates missing out any penny, any money that he can possibly make. So I really like him to have a really good bounce back here. And if you're looking even deeper into, the greens and everything, because, putting will play a big part in round one of scoring. So you're going to have to be able to putt well, or you're not going to be able to score. So if we're looking at bent grass greens, which is what we're pretty much looking at for the most part, if you look at the putter, it's been red hot for the most part. And at a course at Memorial, his most recent with bent grass, over 3.5 strokes gained putting. That's outrageous. It's hard to score there at Memorial for the most part, but this is we're looking at the putting scheme of everything. So his putting was really good there. We're not, every course is different. Memorial's different than, Detroit Golf Club here. So we're just looking at putting. The putting's been outrageous. I really like that as well. In those 5 rounds, anyway, he's been gaining an average of 1.5 strokes with the putter. So I absolutely love that as well. If we go back to just his first round play, if we look at the total here, the approach has been really good. The around the green has been solid. The putting, everything's been pretty good except for the off the tee game. But you know what? The off the tee game isn't that great because of his driving distance. And that's okay. We don't really need him to be, hitting the ball long. He'll get those birdies on those par 5s. I have no problem with that. There's going to be 4 of them. So I really like him here as well. His odds currently are, let's bring that up, that for T20 is plus 350. And to lead after first round is plus 75 to 1. I mean, those are great odds for a golfer that can get low, that likes to go low, and he's in the best wave. I absolutely love it. If you guys are new, I love T20 after first round. I usually put more into that than leader after first round because it's such a hard bet to hit leader after first round. But I absolutely love this kind of play. I know it's not for everybody. I know I'm in New Jersey with Bet365. They always have it no matter what tournament it is. That's why they're one of my favorite sports books. So they're plus 350 across the board. We only need to hit one of them just to make money, but I think we can at least hit 2 here for the most part. And then leader after first round, we got Matt Kuchar 75 to 1, Russell Henley 66 to 1, and Mark Hubbard 66 to 1. So remember, guys, shop around. I know everyone doesn't have the same sports books for the most part, but you can always shop around and get your best number. So be on the lookout. These were the best ones I could find personally. So that's what I'm doing here. But if we're going to look at some stats based on, let's look at what has happened recently here. So if we go to strokes gained here, the last 4 rounds of just first round play, let's just look at it for our guys here. Look at this here. Matt Kuchar, 6 in strokes gained total over here. He's second with the short game around the green. The putter's been fantastic, which is pretty important. So I really like that as well. If we're looking at what they've done in the last 8 rounds based on this kind of atmosphere of bent grass greens, easy scoring the par, and also first round play and yards between 7,200, 7,400 yards. That's just like kind of the buckets that I'm looking at to get like more of a closer perspective. I know courses are all different, but hey, if you can throw in some things that go along with this course that, bits and pieces, I'm all for it as well. If we look at Matt Kuchar here, he's 15 strokes gained total. He's number 1 in putting in the entire field in the last 8 first rounds. So I think that's very important to highlight because it's going to be on bent grass greens, with some other mixture as well. I believe Poana as well, but it's mostly bent grass greens. They're going to be undulating. I think that's important as well. So that's something to keep note. And he's been that kind of good putter right there. So Matt Kuchar, I absolutely love. Once again, it's going to be plus 350 T20 after first round. And Matt Kuchar, 75 to 1. So those are 2 I really like right there. And then we're going to go on to the next one over here. And hold on 1 second. Sorry for the technical delay over there. The life of having kids and everything like that. That's what that happens. But here I am, still rising and firing. Anyway, next guy I'm going to go to is Russell Henley. And his odds right now is at 66 to 1 leader after first round and plus 350 once again for T20 after first round. That's in Bet365 for that T20. I know some people have it, some people don't. If you're in the Great Garden State, you will, but there's other books that could possibly offshore, whatever, that you'll be able to figure that out with. So let's look at Russell Henley over here. Doing this live, hence, anything can happen, of course. If you guys want to chime in with anything you want to talk about, I'll be more than happy to do that as well. So we're going to look at Russell Henley. His last 18 first rounds, look at this, all green across the board. Obviously a first round, guy rising and firing, especially with the approach play, with the irons. He's good with all the proximities that we need to this week. I know that his putter doesn't really spike too much, but we know that his tee to green has been fantastic. He's had a slump at the U.S. Open, but that was a really difficult course. This is a completely different course. So I'm kind of throwing that one out the window per se, but the off the tee game's been good. The approach play, that includes with the ball striking, the combination of the two, and the total has been really good as well. And if we look at bent grass greens for the first round, let's do that here. The putter was pretty good at the PGA Championship and at the Masters. And you're probably asking, why am I highlighting both of those? Well, those are both bent grass greens and they're undulating. We're going to deal with the same kind of thing this week for the most part. So the Masters, the PGA Championship are going to have those bent grass green. Well, I guess Southern Hills and Augusta both have those undulating bent grass greens. We're going to see that again this week. So this seems like it's a pretty favorable putting surface for Russell Henley. Maybe we can really spike with the putter this week. If that's the case, I even love him even more this week to get that T20 and have a good shot of leading after first round. So that's what I'm looking at with the putting numbers right there. I know that it's negative here, but as a picture of the Masters and Southern Hills, who have those undulating bent grass greens, I think those are the two we need to really highlight. He's a positive putter, and I think that's a real good positive with taking Russell Henley this week. So let's see what else we can throw in with Russell Henley. For the last 4 rounds played, Russell Henley is 12th on approach in the field, 7th tee to green. I absolutely love it. I know the putter can stink at times, but that's a bunch of different courses. So we can kind of look past that for the most part for him. If we are looking at, what else can we look at here? So if we're looking at, let's see here, Russell Henley, he's 5th in GIRs gained. I think that's important as well. Good drives gained, 6th. I know his distance isn't some of the furthest, but I don't think you necessarily have to be a long hitter. So I like that as well. So if we look at the proximities over here, let's look at the proximities. Why not, right? Let's look at this. Russell Henley, 2nd in proximity shots here, 20th here from 75 to 150. He's inside the top 40 on these ones right here, especially if he's got to hit a long iron shot. He's right there for 25. I like that as well. So let's get back here to the strokes gained here. We'll get that back later. And we're at the last 8 rounds based on the course specs that we were talking about before. Russell Henley, he's 2nd in ball striking. That's going to be really great here. The driver is important here, and the iron play is always important at this kind of event over here. 3rd on approach, as you see. The putter, once again, not looking that hot, but when we look at the undulating greens and the bent grass greens, he has been a positive putter in his last 2 events there when it comes to bent grass, undulating greens. So I like that as well. If we look at fairways and greens, let's see what we got here. Russell Henley, 7th in GIRs gained, 12th in good drives gained, 12th in scrambling. So I really like that as well. So these are things, there's going to be big, wide fairways. People are going to be bombing it all around. And there will be some scrambling involved. The rough will not be overly high. So I think he should be able to thrive in that kind of situation over there. So that's what I'm looking at for Russell Henley. Once again, at 66 to 1 and Russell Henley plus 350. So those are the two that I'm looking at right now. For him, the next guy, Mark Hubbard. He's been really popular talks this week. Kind of scares me a little bit that he's really highly owned, but I think he'll be a really good first round play regardless. He's plus 350 once again for T20 after first round, and he's plus 60 and he's 66 to 1 leader after first round. So these are the best numbers I could find. Maybe you can find better numbers, but always shop around. It's very important. So hey, let's look at Mark Hubbard, right? Let's check out what he's done of late. And he's been great during first round play. So once again, guys, if you can retweet this, share it, go on the YouTube, all that good stuff, subscribe to my YouTube. I appreciate it. Even subscribe to Rise and Fire Bets. Well, actually, not even just that, but my football show, Tackle the Board. I really appreciate it. Nice little plug by me. Here we go. All right, so we got Mark Hubbard over here. So let's see what we got here. So let's get out of the bent grass greens. Let's look at what he's done of late. Okay, last 19 rounds played, positive all the way around, except for off the tee. Once again, because of the shorter distance he drives with, he's more accurate off the tee than driving distance, so I have no problem with that. But look at the positives. Plus over 6.5 strokes, over 4.5, over 4. So I really like those. He only had a negative here, but most of the time he's been pretty hot. RBC Canadian, he did really well. So I like those there. He's just a good first round, player. And once again, we look at the wave. If you want to look at where he's at on the wave, 6:56 a.m. Nice, bright and early when the winds aren't that big. The big winds are going to be coming in the early to late afternoon, so we'll have to watch out for that. But he's right there, second tee time on that first tee. He should be able to score and score well. So I really like that right there for him. So let's look at some other stuff while we're here. Why not? I got plenty of time. I'm on the shelf, So let's do this here. So let's get to Mark Hubbard. Last 4 rounds, first rounds played, just in general. We're looking at Hubbard, second in putting, fantastic. Third on strokes gained total in the entire field. So we know we got a guy that can go low in the first round. The approach is 7th, which is awesome. And for your DraftKings purposes, he's 5th. I mean, we're not talking about DraftKings here, but it's always a nice thing to throw in. He's going to be big-time chalk for showdown for first round and probably for the week. I'm probably not going to play him for the tournament for DraftKings. He's going to be way too high for a player of his stats for an entire week, but I will play him for showdown for first round because I don't want to miss out on him. Because I think he's going to do well anyway. So if we look at fairways, greens, let's check this out over here. See if we got anything good here. Mark Hubbard, 15th in scrambling, 6th in fairways game. We're going to hit those fairways. I always like that. Oh, yeah, of course, Matt Kuchar, I just want to talk about before. There are bunkers here. He's number 1 in the field in sand saves per usual, so that's always a good thing. Just for an extra Matt Kuchar thing, if you weren't sold on him already, that's why I like with him as well. I forgot about talking about that before. So that's what we're looking at there. Let's see if we see anything good with the proximities in the last 4 rounds, just first 4 rounds anyway. All right, we got 3. He's ranked 3rd and 125 to 150. I think that's going to be a pretty popular bucket this week, so I think that'll be a good spot. He's 11th for a 75 150. I think that's going to be good for a player like Mark Hubbard because he's going to not be able to get to the green in 2 most likely. So if he's close, he'll have a really good shot to get him a good opportunity to get that birdie with one of those 4 par 5s we could take advantage of this week. So if we look once again, the last 8 rounds, number 1 in sand saves gained. This is for all the comps of the course pretty much. Number 1 is scrambling. 5th in fairways gained. You already know he's that good on fairways gained. Let's look at the strokes gained total over here. This is for the proximities and everything. So Hubbard, 11th in the field, 7th in putting. This is with the bent grass greens over here. He's a guy that puts really well on the surface. We need that this week. I cannot emphasize that enough, that we need to be able to putt well in the first round, or we're not going to get into these top 20s or leader after first round. Very important. 10th around the green. I don't know how important that will be. I mean, they will be undulating, so the green, so we might have to be able to rely on that around the green play. We will see. He is 20th on scoring, which isn't all that great, especially for chalk. So we might have to stay away with that possibly, but I'm probably still going to play him for showdown with that because, I think he's going to do really well, and I don't want to miss out on those points regardless. So let's see with the proximities. Mark Hubbard, he's 11th and 150 to 175. He's within the top 20. That's 75 to 100. He's pretty good with those buckets. But at the end of the day, the track record has shown that Mark Hubbard can score when he needs to in the first round. Some guys are just first round guys. You got your I can't even think of his name now. Man, what is his name? My boy John's guy, the Flex Seal guy. I can't believe I can't forget his name right now. But Sebastian Munoz. You got guys that just go low. Kuchar's one of those guys. Billy Horschel. Those kind of guys typically like to go low, and these are good spots for these 3 golfers. So let me recap over here. I know you guys are busy. Everything's good. I appreciate you guys tuning in, liking, sharing, all that stuff. I'll be sure to have it on my page, on my website, riseandfirebets.com, sell me fire, all that good stuff. So T20 after first round, if you are lucky enough to have this market for Rocket Mortgage Classic, I recommend putting more units on these than the outrights, even though I feel good about the outrights. But hey, getting plus 350 on your money is fantastic in anything you bet with one bet you have to win. You will not see that during the football season. So if you do, it's going to be really hard to hit. So Matt Kuchar plus 350, Russell Henley plus 350, Mark Hubbard plus 350. We only need to hit 1 to make money, but I think we can at least hit 2 here. Leader after first round, Matt Kuchar 75 to 1, Russell Henley 66 to 1, Mark Hubbard 66 to 1. Guys, I'm due to hit one of these. I think this can really happen tomorrow. I'm real excited. Hit me up, DM me, tweet me, do all that stuff. You guys got any other questions regarding first round or plays that you would like to consider for first round? Let's do it. I'll help you out. No problem, man. I got time. I'm just sitting around. I'm on the pup. I'm hanging out for the most part. Would love to answer them. Thanks again, guys, for listening to my first round place. My 3 golfers that I absolutely love. Thanks a lot, guys. Let's rise and fire. Let's make some money on day 1 so we can have a little cash to play with the rest of the week, guys. Thanks a lot. Let's rise and fire, guys.